a doctor or a zombie, but he knows a lot about zombies, and he plays video games. You're watching Doctrzombie. He's not a doctor or a zombie, but he knows a lot about zombies, and he plays video games. Everybody, it's the Doctrzombie show. You watch Doctrzombie. He's not a doctor or a zombie, but he knows a lot about zombies, and he plays video games. He knows a lot about zombie, but he knows a lot about zombies, and he plays video games.
Medical emergency. Someone died. Oh, hey. Wow, Gibbous, thanks for the money. Holy shit. Thanks for the kind donation. If I recall, you said something about me buying some Jack Daniels honey with that money. So I'll definitely make sure to do that. Cheers, buddy. Oh, God. I don't think I want to buy that again. Ugh. Whew. Hello again, everybody. We're back, and I've got some Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey right here to enjoy, courtesy of Gibbous. I've long since spent that money, but this is courtesy of me. Hello again. Welcome back. I am launching the Roottrees are dead, a nice way to wind down from the stressful shooting and running and screaming and then falling out of the world that I just experienced in the Rogue Core, which now that I'm getting a little better at, I'm enjoying more. I just really wish that I could find a group to play with. And tonight it was like dead. But a little RoottreeMania and bang my head against this difficult puzzle wall. Family Dooku. What the? Alphabet Davis in the erased names of the Genesis. Weird. Just little, like, what do you call them? Easter eggs in the room. Okay, we're back. I had one more thought about the lawyer, and then I'm going to give up for a while because I'll probably find that referenced in some other deep dive thing that I'm doing. But the Roottrees versus RR is an old story about the lawsuit from Robert Roottree or Rodney Roottree, I can't remember. What about SS? Yeah, no, nothing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull on a different thread then. The fucking peacoats, He-Man. This is because of the Sicily thing. Cease and desist, maybe? Yeah, I did not expect to get anywhere for that. Okay, let's go back. What else we got here? Maybe I should go back to my highlights instead of looking at the evidence clicks. Because we got 6 pieces. A lot of info about that. Let's go for it. All right. 6 pieces unwrapping America's Sweetest Family. We've got that. I could probably remove this note because we looked it up. Indecisionitis and the Roottree Rift might still have a thread with it. I don't think so. I feel like we went in there pretty hard. We did get this, didn't we? Let me check the thing here. Elizabeth wound up, yes, marrying the caterer, Elizabeth Cravensworth. Let's go ahead and edit this one. Mostly solved. Need a picture of Elizabeth Cravensworth. Okay, guy was known for spending more time on money on the Brazil thing. Yes, yes. I don't think we got everything there. We did find Flavio Soares' picture, but Sonia Soares, her original name, her occupation, we just don't know it. But I think we could probably find it if we search the right stuff. So let's go back, check our history. Damn you, Ruby Sprat. Oh, we were there a long time ago. Edson Soares. Brazilian politician, punched by a college student as part of their PhD in history. Democracy in Brazil. A few politicians in time, including him. Former mayor of Valgos, Brazil. Before politics, manager at an automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. By the military government in 1973. Quite rich. Locals were forcibly relocated. Made him very unpopular. His wife Sonia discreetly put in charge of a television station called Telered. Copy that. I think I looked it up, but I want to dive deeper into it. Left the town behind, not knowing where he's gone, but the dissertation speculates he fled to stay alive. Former television station in Brazil. Vacuums created due to the removal of the military dictatorship. You don't have much to go on. Who ran it and when? Let me back here. Sonia. Spider Search does return a page that lists a news anchor named Flavio. Yeah, we did that. Who had a mother named Sonia. Yep. Fan fiction. Yeah. Yada yada yada. Supermodel Ashley York. Libra, grilled steak, mother's name Sonia, golden-haired picture, yeah. But we know he's a Brazilian newscaster, but British supermodel for PETA. Oh, sorry, she's been protested by PETA for having cover. Ooh, I wonder if she shows up on silver screen or something like that. Yes, Teen Blast. Here we go. I was in Rio for Carnival. He was in one of the parade floats. Liked what I saw. Told my people to invite him to party. I was going to... she runs a media empire called this. Transmissio Sao Paulo. Let's search for that. We fucking got it. Here we go. Massive media group owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. A-L-V-E-S. She shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public's eye. I'm going to highlight that, even though I think I'm going to figure it out before we get too far away. Alves. A-L-V-E-S. Can I not? Oh, it worked. Okay. Back to this. Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980, i.e. from Guy, for having his child. Continued to work in television until 88. During the reform period. Launched her own media company. Now she manages television networks, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. The page about Nia lists her as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. Searching for Nia online, you learn she stays out of the spotlight. She doesn't even appear at shareholder meetings. She sends a proxy. Let's search for Nia, Alves. Okay, and let's search for that in various news sources. I would say probably Business Watch. Yep. Article: The struggles of American media companies doing business with foreign counterparts due to law differences. Trust of blah, blah, blah. Due to lack of freedom of speech laws in Brazil, there's been added bureaucracy in publishing certain stories in their channels. She's extremely private about her identity, which supposedly once used her connections to have a reporter fired from a rival network and blacklisted. Journalist claims this was shut down. A story he was doing about her personal life, including her marriage in 73, was not of her own choice. She essentially had a husband forced upon her as a child bride at 15. Oh no, you dirty fuck! It also claims the past appearances with her husband have been for show. They do not live together. She resents her own parents for the arrangement. Meaning that Guy Hudson knocked her up at 15. Maybe. Dictatorship. As research uncovered, she could not possibly have earned enough money to start a media company. After making the statement, the reporter went into hiding for fear of his safety. But this does not help me much. None of this looks like anything I could search for. I will continue looking her up. See, why would there be an article that has no links, though? Unless I can get in touch with the rival reporter. Oh, maybe she was married at 15 and then worked for Guy. Or got a big inheritance in the 80s from Guy. She never was with her husband because it was, an arrangement that she didn't like. Okay, so maybe he didn't knock her up at 15. It's still pretty bad. Let's keep searching. I don't think I'm going to find anything else. Maybe under news time. No. Yep. Okay. What about her, her news network again? So. She owns television firms, magazines, and advertising firms. Alright, let's look under periodicals for her network. Too many results to be anything useful. How about Butler County Times? Probably not going to show up anywhere else. But that actress might show up elsewhere under Silver Screen Magazine or Starlet. All these are possibility. Okay, and her name was. Gotta go back up the top here. Ashley York. Okay, switch to Starlet. Nothing. How about Silver Screen? Nothing. Boo. Okay. How did we get to another fucking dead end? Let's go back here. Nia Owens. Took that into periodicals, specifically for Business Watch. And we got a lot of information, but not enough to get anywhere. She resents her own parents, but they don't show up on the thing. I believe Sonia is the correct word. She shortens it to Nia. I think CEO is a possibility. It says she owns a bunch of companies. Doesn't specifically say she's the CEO of them. A journalist from a rival network. Goddamn. Dead end again, though. And we expect to see a picture of both Nia and Edson. I doubt his name will come back as this, because it's not his fucking name. Yeah. It's Edson, Soares. S-O-A-R-E-S. Okay. Let's check the periodicals. I don't expect to see shit. I could search more for Flavio, since I got his picture and maybe I kind of ended it there and shouldn't have. Just Ashley York here. Probably won't be anywhere either. God dang it. Like, I wish I'd been given a name of a Brazilian magazine. That would have opened up so much option-wise. Business Watch might be an option. Yeah, nothing. Fucking nothing. Raging. Boo. Getting my ass handed to me here, Dirty D. Alright. Oh, I wonder. Let's go back to when Guy Hudson was a creep. Although, actually, this would be the 80s when he gives the big donation to, well, that, but also the Brazilian factory shit. Emily Seinfeld, Emily Barnes, William Sams. Susan Thorpe. Who's Terry O'Connor? I have no idea. None of these names are going to appear in the fucking search, you know? Just search every goddamn name. Okay. I'm really not sure. Thing is, there's like extra pictures to unlock for older people. Zach and Chris and Clark. So why am I looking at all these different things and I'm not seeing that shit? Chris Rafferty. Am I spelling his name correctly? Rafferty. What about Raffertoons? Oh, it is new. Raffertoon site that had a photo of Clark on it no longer exists. Instead redirects to a site for a telephone number called 1010-250. Keeps popping up in advertisements, new windows every few seconds. You managed to close them, but sure is annoying. So Raffertoons is gone. Do you remember these? If you were an American in the 90s, you probably remember the 1010-250 or the 1010-220 thing. You dial up before making a long-distance phone call, you receive a discount. Yeah, Raffertoons is purchased. Clark Rafferty LaRue is the new president. Does not include Roop, which appears to have its own new leadership. Interesting. Highlighting. I want to look up Root later. Clark and Ron would be taking over. Ron for his work. Clark is the new resident. By the way, is Ron the good one or the one who got in trouble? Ron is the good one. Robert got in trouble and was sued by the Roottrees. Yeah, let me check Roots. Ugh. Most recent catalog has an entirely black cover, no text. On the leadership page, you'll learn that Root's currently managed by a designer who is apparently Brenda White's second in command. You don't recognize her name, and she seems unrelated. There's a scholarship page. Gives an opportunity to show off their designs and professional models on the real runway. Funds created by the shares that would have been contributed to the hands of the Roottrees sisters if they were alive. Like other aspects of the Clan's trust, it's managed by Ruby Legal Enterprises. Okay, I think it's the same. God damn it. You think maybe it happens in the Butler County Times? Or Business Watch? Or News Time? Or fucking anything, you motherfucker? Okay. Alright. Yeah. You know, another thing I could try to do is research all of these magazine websites. And if they have been updated, that could help me out. So we got Business Watch, Butler County Times. Yep. Unedited. This is a new one for Mideastern University. Should I search for Mideastern University? Midway between Maine and Miami. Inspectors, legal and language departments, robotics, computer science. Little Ivy. Now, we did search for the Herald. Modern Music Monthly, and News Time. Yeah. Rapper 5Ps. Pico T, Portland Telegraph, those are on news. Silver Screen Magazine, Starlet, and Team Blast. Yeah. Did I? Oh, it's one word. Starlet. Yep, none of these are useful. Fuck, shitty titty. I haven't found a goddamn thing. I found a little bit about Nina. Or Nia. Which is not enough to fill in fucking anything. Susan Ford. These flavor things must mean something. I just don't know what. Strawberry, Ziga, butterscotch, caviar. Like, they don't match with the names of the children or the adults. Like, we gotta find something that cracks this thing wide open. I guess we'll go back to Elias, right? And Bess Williams. Oh no, someone who needs to be banned. So it was re-released, Family Man. Reprinting blatant corporate propaganda. Miami Print Museum. Missions free, few different displays, unknown author, Cubite by Cubans, which we kind of determined was nothing. Let's go ahead and put him in the periodicals as well. Yeah, Ruby Spratt, her company Ruby Legal Enterprises. Glance Trust. I guess I could look for this again. Let me look through this, though. Ruby approached the Roottrees in late March. Accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer. She could be the public face to build a reputation. Too bad I can't find her fucking face. Clancy Edward Roottrees' implementation was not legally sound. There are constant legal challenges. Put her in charge of the trust, legally and as a public face to prevent further issues. Law firm and a PR firm. Draft a public statement accepting Sam into the family, declaring they've begun to address the Clans of Trust. I feel like maybe searching the Clans of Trust is the way to go. That scholarship thing keeps coming up, though. This is new. Okay. It has been updated. So maybe we're on the right track here. Hi, Dynamo Dan. Welcome. How you doing? Long time no see. Clans Trust is Roottrees Company's unusual legal arrangement, the motivation for their major financial decisions, entire blah blah blah, sister clothing company with a period. Every level can have a say in the company's operations. This has caused the family to be slow to approve any major expenditures that could significantly dig into the profits. After the release of 6 pieces by Sam Madsen, the Clans Trust came under heavy scrutiny. Sam, her children, and grandchildren should all have been covered under the trust, according to the wording. And revealed during an internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottree. Seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy, Edward, and the direction of Elias, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details of how it worked, in an attempt to keep Sam and her father, Edward Clancy, his own twin brother, in comparative poverty. This is all true, and we did uncover this during the initial. Yeah, man, I understand. I understand the busyness, man. Oof. Because the rest of the family made money hand over fist, they had little reason to question it. Sam's book revealed to the public, and it did not go over well. Clark Rafferty LaRue took over the company. His most celebrated move was the first official one, ensuring Sam's family would get their share. To help facilitate this, the inheritance aspect of the trust is now under control of a third party, Ruby Legal Enterprises. This ensures the financial motivations of Roottrees family members will not interfere with the investigations of potential new Roottrees. According to Clark's letter, family members still need to slow the investigation by refusing to answer questions. Fuckers. That did not help me at all. Ooh, I should search Ron Roottree. After all, this definitely changed. Business Watch. He hopes to release a movie about it someday. Ron's mother, Gwen, died in Paris. Let's check Gwen. She was, however, after all, famous. And then we'll check in Business Watch. Yep, this is new. Peacefully in her sleep, being treated for a sudden severe case of pneumonia. Relatively good health, according to her family and friends in Paris. She was 67. Okay. Business Watch. Ron Roottree. What really happened with Roottree? Nobody from Roottree willing to know the record. Timeline events have been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. That was really okay. Anonymous source. Timeless as family. I feel like I've read all this before. RR Productions might be something I want to check out again. To get him personally motivated. They were worried about he would gut the trust, remove Robbie. Unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. Ron was impossible to deal with. He was unwilling to protect the trust. They eventually let him go, and the role passed to Clark. RR Productions. Guys Like Us remake. Here we go. website called Move News. Cameron Diaz is going to play Gwyn. Amazing. Ron has a medical problem? Okay, let's check out Move News. Alright, it's nothing. Chris O'Donnell, Linda Flubba, Cameron Diaz, Zach Morden. What the fuck is his name? Zachariah, A-R-I-A-H, Morden. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, this is so frustrating. Getting literally nowhere and having no obvious threads. I have been at this for half an hour with nothing in sight. I hate it. I hate it so much, but I think it might be time to use a hint. Five P's is a musician. It's possible some of his music could be helpful to you. Okay. Fine. Let's talk about it. That's something I had not even considered at all. Okay. Felix Fellows. Oh, here we go. A recent album, Root of All Evil. Album's mostly material 5-piece recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, re-recorded with lyrical differences and professional production. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. He announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. Let me just highlight that. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. Stevie Whitlock. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars in an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased his profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. Let me copy Stevie Whitlock, because this might be the thread I need to pull on. Here's the MP3. The hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. Only people who think money is evil are those that have it. Those that can afford not to be greedy. In the song, 5-Piece triumphantly talks about taking Roottrees' wealth, doing to it being his birthright, and giving it to those who need it most. And then I got a copy of the song. Stevie Whitlock is a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the mid-'80s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. That's true. It has been a bit harder, and that's fine. I love it. I would pay $20 a month to keep playing this. It's so good. Although I doubt I would stream it if they released one every month. I would probably just do that on the side. $5,000, but the news coverage turned out to be priceless. None of it is related to the Roottrees. So, Stevie Whitlock is a bit of a dead end, but I did get an MP3, and this should give me at least one, although it says 0. Looking at the lyrics for this rap. Catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners because we didn't earn it when all your worth it came for free with your name. You expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead I turn my other cheeks and spread them? When you give me a kiss, just let me know where to aim. Goddamn. Five P's is from Portland. Everything keeps coming back to Portland. Portland Telegraph, 5 P's. Hometown hero. 3 out of 5 on his latest album. And nothing that the New Time article hasn't already covered. I don't think that gave me fucking anything. Although I guess I could search for Sam Madsen. Maybe I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I did, because I clearly marked it down. And I went through this as well. Alright. That didn't fucking help me. I need another clue. Looking into some of the information again. God damn it. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the book. That was the most important thing for my first investigation. It was Lauren Roottrees' book. And I can't remember what the fuck it was called. Archived evidence. It was called A Life Between Wars. Single passage that focuses on potential affairs and immediate family. You've added to the rest of your evidence. I feel like I already knew that. Because it was fucking here. Damn it. Okay, what else should I relook up? Like, I mean, there was a lot of fucking evidence. Marketing items. Yeah. Nope. Carl, not Clark, dummy. Carl! There's some new Carl stuff. And we looked up Kristen Valdez. It was all bullshit. Private school near her hometown, yeah. God damn it! I'm so fucking lost! Fuck! Reminders in your evidence go over the most important people and events from last investigation. Do they? What? Where? None of this is helpful. Please help me. I'm so confused. Oh, this reminders. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, let's just search for the Roottree Candy Company. I mean, fuck it, right? Much has changed over the last months. One of those things is website. During a last search, you only got to look at the history page. The design itself has clearly become more sleek and corporate. Gone is any history focused on Elias. Instead, it focuses on the present status of their candy offerings with high-quality JPEGs of their products. There are some small ads for Root, which is the clothing company owned by the Roottree Candy Company. Small section at the bottom lists the president of Clark LaRue. Short bio mentioned he was responsible for some of their marketing before taking the reins after the unfortunate plane crash. Small memorial section for those perished, including the Roottrie sisters, Carl and Brenda, Kurt Johnson, Mark Sanchez, Trish King, and Eliza Nicholson. This is important because I was wondering about the other people in the crash. It said there were others in the crash, but it didn't ever let me ask about them. Kurt Johnson and Mark Sanchez were the pilot and co-pilot. Although the NTSB investigation has not been released, foul play has been ruled out. Trish King was on the cabin crew of the Rootree's private jet. Elizabeth Nicholson, who went by Eliza, lived in a house with her family about 200 yards in the section of the woods where the plane crashed. She reportedly had a heart attack during the commotion, and her family were unable to reach emergency services due to the overwhelmed phone lines and ongoing storm. Her son-in-law managed to flag down an officer responding to the plane crash, but it was too late. Elizabeth Nicholson. Periodicals? No. What about the last one that was in there? Trish King. Eliza Nicholson. Nothing there. Why is this here? And it means nothing. This fucking scholarship, though, keeps coming up. This all goes down to this Sizzly Sanchez shit, which is not helpful to me. Hey! Oh my god, Caroline Morden. I got some new shit. Caroline Morden did a television interview. Someone uploaded a partial transcript of the interview. Is only her answers and then missing the questions. Somewhat confusing reading experience, but it does give you a bit more history. Okay, fuck. Never really fit in the family, so it didn't surprise me. She could have put me in if she wanted to talk about the time during my activism days when I almost got arrested for stealing the spark plugs out of all her tractors, but I don't really think that fit her narrative. They never tried to kick me out or send me to live on a farm, if that's what you mean, but I was already pretty unpopular, and once everyone learned why I divorced my husband, few people paid any attention. She's my wife, not legally, but we've been together for half our lives. Call it what it is. I was 20 and just had my daughter. I hate to look back on that time because I was a terrible mother the first few years. I left my daughter with my ex-husband and followed a guy on a private jet to Europe. Here we go. He lost a tooth and a client. I found love and a better understanding of who I was. Still, in our family's eyes, his trip was somehow more acceptable. Explain that. No, I couldn't stand him. Our family wrote off his behavior like he was some huge fan of romance or women, but he didn't like the entire woman. It was doubly awkward for me because he was more supportive than most. I slowly figured out it was because he assumed I would be as shallow as he was. He was a workaholic. He seemed nice enough and did a good job. I didn't know him well. That was one of Sam's problems with our family. None of us except Carl. Honestly, I get why she's pissed. That must be Eddie Jr. With Carl, though, all I can say is we used to be friends before they sent him to private school. That private school's come up again. He came back a lot judgier. It made sense when they made him president. It was a lot like my father after they disciplined the fun out of him. After I started protesting the farms, he stopped returning my calls. He used to sell me pot. His problems with women were different than guys. Oh, this must be Clark Rafferty. He never really judged me. I guess he knew it would be pretty hypocritical to judge anyone for anything. Back then, he was destructively unreliable in every way, but nowadays, he's just kind of boring and old. I prefer that to how he used to be and to Guy and Carl, but it's still a cautionary tale. I hope that I'm never that boring and old. This fucking private school, right? Nothing. Is there anything even tied to this? No, it doesn't even give me any addition. What the fuck, man? Someone had a very useful website in the last investigation. I wonder if it's been updated. Oh, the useful website, I think, was Brian Jones. Well, here, this is a new one. What the fuck was the name of the Jones fucking... Damn it! Okay, that's not gonna do anything. It's like fucking Jones Printing or something, goddammit. Let me actually check the older Butler County Times, okay. Jones Graphic and Print. Okay, thank you. Fucking hell. This was a useful website. It has been updated. Oh no, it's unchanged, except it lists a few new clients, although all of them are in around Butler County. None of them appear to be related to your search. So that's not helpful. Ah, man, I have... Fuck! Chris Rafferty. Found him using his email. Okay. Fucking hell. That was rough. Yeah, can't remember what his email was or how I got it. It was some kind of conspiracy theory website. Conspiracy theory website was about the Roottrees curse, right? Okay. Ow! Fuck, my foot just went through the thing I'm using as a footstool. Okay, the Roottrees curse is new. Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page. 8 months later, the page exists and is thriving. It's reached 7 digits. Many older articles have been replaced. The recent uprising in Roottrees news has left Thomas Overwood with a constant stream of events to base new theories on. More than one of his theories involve Roottrees deaths being faked. According to Overwood, statistically, when you have this many high-profile people who have just died in a family, the odds are that one of them faked their death. It's just math. The newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun believing the guy's not dead theory. In his own words, "My eyes have been opened, all of this is beginning to make too much sense." One of his posts details the belief that Ron Roottrees is still in charge, Gwen Roottrees' death was faked, Clark is only there to throw people off, apparently it allowed Ron to travel to France to develop their new candy recipe in secret. The rapper 5Ps can't possibly be a Roottrees. One of his first album songs, performing under the devil name, actually mentioned that he wanted to have sex with Raina. Not even Sam Madsen is spared. According to Overwood, the author of 6 Pieces isn't real. She's an anagram for Am Madness. They're purposely leaving hints for us. He claims that by using 6 Pieces with Lauren Roottrees' book as a one-time pad, he began to decrypt a cipher. Most of the cipher has seemed meaningless, but he managed to pick out the words people and vastness and is working on figuring out what it means. 2000 is a leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the Roottrees red-handed in Operation RT-29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk Spirit Cola, but doesn't go into why. Boom. It's Pico T. Did he get the pictures? This motherfucker right here got the pictures. The Guy's Not Dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that the Roottrees have supposedly hid all over the place, including candy wrappers, print advertisements, and television commercials, and in their jingles. The story, according to the website, is Guy Hudson was a terrible president. That's true. He introduced multiple failed products. That's true. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers, so they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight. Some people even theorized he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. The people who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all this that accidentally leaked in a banned article from the magazine Picoti. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with Cicely Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. Finally, we got it. This was the thing we were trying to get a hold of. So, here's some photos. Guy looking at some woman that he wants to pork. It is with Cicely Sanchez. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by the Roottree company for use in her book. In the background of the photo, there's a Christmas tree, and there's also a woman over here. Don't think I don't miss that shit. Okay. Cicely Sanchez. This doesn't actually say that it's Cicely, it just says provided these photos by the Roottree company for use in her book. Hey, it's Zach. Okay. We got a couple extra pictures of Guy. Being creepy as all get up. And here's Zach. Alright. Picoti. Here's the interview with Cicely about the book. Looks like Austin Powers. Oh, behave. I met him at New Year's Eve, actually, the last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next big project. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party, and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from my work. I had finally made it. The book asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop chop, snip snip, anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up being a no-go. Gonzo. Is Guy's wife... Nope. That's not Patricia Jones in the background. I mean, it could be fucking anybody. I'm just gonna throw some fucking pictures out there. Like, who knows, right? Back to the board. At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to two traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Roottree. And second, he'd never be satisfied living the life he needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, but what he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. But he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond trying to convince people that he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Roottree was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Roottree Legacy, with Elias on the cover. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suits for the same green ones Elias wore. Roottree Legacy. Let me highlight that. And there was something up here that I wanted to highlight. Nope. Changed Man. Both things I need to look up. And remember fancy flavors? Guy knew that part of Elias' legacy was the 5-piece flavors, so that's what Guy tried to do. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for whatever reason. In Christmas of 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Roottree Brazil factory. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate that success. It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anyone in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time. But Guy still got the content. After I left, it was probably a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time. The interview continues on the next page. Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. In 1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count, and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good. Imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage, and we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl. I remembered her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last it came up. What can you tell me about the family? She did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumors, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottrees Brazil, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France, and China, too. These are the other places he went. When he met with someone, I'd figure out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin. He and she definitely spent a few nights together, but didn't want his family to know about, but I did. Okay, so. It's quite possible that shit like this is not even real. But I don't think Cicely Sanchez ever slept with him. I think that we're talking about Susie and Robin. So, man. Susan Ford. She was too good for him. She died soon after. He died soon after. So Robin, maybe down here. Robin, YN. And we don't know Robin's last name, but we know there's Australia, France, and China. Mainly Australia. It's almost 11 o'clock. I probably misspelt Australia, because that's how I roll. Fuck. Come on. Highlight the right goddamn part, you bastard. Yes! Roottrees is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Roottrees candy, developed as part of the Roottrees Everywhere initiative in summer 1979. Charles Martin was the partner. Owned a company that manufactured licorice in Australia, was tapped to run the Roottrees factory after he impressed the American leadership. Did have some success, but only in certain regions. The manufacturing leg shuttered in 1992 after the death of Martin, and Roottrees now serves as an importer and distributor. Charles Martin. So I suspect that this is Robin Martin. Although it's quite possible that it's not her, that it's the picture's wrong. I mean, it could be anyone. Martin's Licorice Bullets. Most of his history is unrelated to Roottrees. In 1979, he helped develop Roottrees, used his own wealth to build a new factory. Blah, 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 blah. 50-50 between American and Martin himself for him to do with what he wishes. Made him very wealthy, but led to many cost-cutting measures meant to increase profits as much as possible. Poor reputation in Australia, suffered immensely. His vast fortune was passed along to his daughter, Robin Martin, who sold both businesses at the first opportunity. Okay, top 100 wealthiest women in the world. She owns a private island off the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own executive retreat. No husband. Medical procedure to ensure she would never have children. You find a joke on a site called Edgy Jokes that implies she's quite promiscuous and has a punchline involving Robin's eggs. For what it's worth, Martin seemed to lean into the rumors. In the 80s, she once showed up at a charity function with 3 very attractive men, each wearing a shirt that simply said "satisfied partner" on it. Goddamn. Ah, fucking hell. A lot of jokes about the band U2 for some reason. Okay. This girl here was probably around when Zach handed off leadership to Guy. It's probably Christine Cravensworth, the secretary, more than the brunettes from this picture. This could potentially be Edson, and this could be Sonia. In the background, I actually think this might be Susan. What does she do? Not sure. Okay. Where are we at now? The Picotea thing has been ripped to shreds. Now 2 and 2. The 6 pieces book is now more popular. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. At least I got something done. I still haven't locked in any new characters, and it's been over an hour. But I feel like, you know, these are possibilities. Is Interpreter? No, I fucking... Office. The fuck else could there be? Secretary? Travel agent? No idea. It would probably be in this thing. Toward the end here. Susan Ford was fired in 82. No idea. Okay. Fine. I got no idea. No idea where to go next. And I should go to bed. Because it's late and I'm confused and there's so many threads to pull on, but I pulled on some and I'm hoping not to have to hit that damn rubber ducky again, but I finally got the shit that I needed. Apparently looking up old conspiracy theory websites, this is very difficult. To go that deep back into the first game to find information about the second is constantly going to come back to bite me again and again. I can already tell. But, alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow night. It's Tuesday. RimWorld Tuesdays is what my plan is. Hopefully that will be what happens. We'll continue with Dirty Dog's Flat World Cult. And I'll see you guys next time.